It must have been sometime in 2022 or 2023 that the Estonian Defence Forces, or EDF, concluded its search for a field ration supplier. To be honest, we tried really hard to find news about the selection process but didn't come up with much. The aftermath of the decision, however, was quite a bit easier to find. In today's video, we take a look back at the EDF's field ration fiasco, the problems soldiers encountered, and what was done to rectify the issues. So, looking at this 2021 video comparing Estonian field rations with allies, we can see what older rations were comprised of. It appears that many components were canned, commercial off-the-shelf products, which would add a little bit of extra weight and bulk.
Estonian, this stroganoff with potatoes, made in Estonia, and if you taste this, it's like homemade.
Do you heat this up or can you just eat it?
Yeah, we heat it and you can eat it cold too.
I don't think I could eat that cold, personally.
We can see some packages coming from a Dutch company by the name of Adventure Food, which comes up in an unexpected way a little later on in our exploration of this topic.
Now this is another good thing, halva. It's a bunch of peanuts, kind of like smashed together, sweet tasting, and usually you can't eat the entire pack because it's just so sweet.
Yeah.
But also something you can just kind of break apart, eat a little bit.
It's good if you're hungry and you just need some, but it's
Just like it.
Crummy.
Now, according to this EDF video, all in Estonian, it would appear that the revised rations were introduced in early 2023, with the military deciding to drop Adventure Food. The video description states that the National Defence Investment Centre had procured a new type of food package for the Estonian Defence Forces, and instead of the previous 24-hour food package, it is now possible to assemble food packages from 2 to 3 separate meal packages. It was stated that there were a total of 28 different new food packages. We don't have any information on the procurement or bidding process of these new rations, but we know that the company Comifabrik was selected as a key supplier. Comifabrik would supply its military rations under the brand Food Force, a brand that appears to be publicly/commercially available today. We also know that the runner-up in this process was a company by the name of 365JP. Well, just a few months after the rollout of the Comifabrik rations, 365JP alleged that the packs being given to EDF members did not meet the clearly specified requirements. However, the Estonian Centre for Defence Investment said that the terms of the tender had not been violated. ERR reported that packages were contractually obligated to contain between 1,200 and 1,600 kilocalories per meal. However, 365JP said that after opening a total of 28 EDF food packages, it was discovered that some of the required food items were missing. The second-place winner added that the food being served to EDF members contained fewer calories than required. The breakfasts are missing the chewing gum. The chewing gum is compulsory along with a snack. 2 components are missing from the pack, said a member of 365JP's board. This individual added, "We didn't even have to open the packages. The packet contains less calories than actually required, and when we added up the individual components of the packet, they still did not correspond to what is written on the packet at the moment." The Estonian Defence Investment Centre stuck by its decision, and a spokesperson stated, "If we find any shortcomings there, we will penalise any potential breaches of the tender by the supplying partner. However, as a matter of principle, the labels have to match, and we ourselves are confirming today that the labels do match the contents." So, that controversy started in June 2023, and you might have thought it was just a case of sour grapes from the runner-up who didn't win the contract. It's something that does indeed happen from time to time with the contract/tender process, which was what actually killed Latvia's decision to acquire the Finnish Sisu GTP 4x4. If you haven't seen that video, we invite you to check it out after this. Anyway, getting back to the Estonian rations, by August things were looking even worse for Comifabrik. That month, the Centre of Defence Investment decided to terminate the €17 million contract to supply food packages due to issues with their quality. It was reported that out of the 1.7 million food packs made by Comifabrik, nearly 400,000 were defective. The Centre for Defence Investment had been in talks with Comifabrik for some time and had tried several times to rectify the problems. It was stated that the food packages delivered by Komefabrik had significant deficiencies in relation to the packaging, labels and product quality. The taste of the food was also deemed to be below standard, something that ERR says was confirmed by tests. It appears that the decisive factor was that inside some of the packages, liquid or food crumbs had leaked out, covering the contents. Remember when we mentioned Adventure Food? Well, their social media person was quick to react publicly to this news. They shared this contract cancellation news on their Facebook page. After 8 years of Adventure Food without a single complaint, the Estonian army decided to switch to another supplier. Did they think they would get the same quality? Welcome back. Wow, that's quite the sassy post. Would you consider it unprofessional or acceptable? We're curious to know what you think. We understand that Adventure Food may be sour due to being dropped, but we would also completely understand if the decision was made to source military rations domestically rather than through a faraway Dutch company. Now, the only reason we're reporting on this ration news now is that ERR reported on May 25th that there had been positive feedback regarding the newest rations that have been provided by 365JP. Now, we wish we had visuals of these newest food packages, but we searched everywhere and couldn't find anything. Strangely enough, 365JP's website is only filled with workout supplements and protein powder. Strange, isn't it? Anyway, the first paragraph of the ERR article stated, "The new Estonian Defence Forces or EDF ration packs, while still with their defects, are more varied, tastier and better quality than the previous standard issue pack, some soldiers have reported." The catering service project manager at the Centre for Defence Investments said, "Indeed, taste is something very close to people's hearts, but we also have to consider shelf life. We can't use products that last only a year or a year and a half. The current pack's shelf life is 3.5 years, which is quite a good outcome. Price also plays a big role in assembling the packs, and in recent years we've also been paying attention to special dietary needs. We now have lactose-free, gluten-free and vegetarian options." EDF conscripts surveyed by ERR said that they found the new packs a step up from their predecessors. One conscript said, "Previously the taste wasn't very pleasant, but now I even prefer the dry ration pack even over the food I brought along myself." Another conscript stated, "Compared with the previous ones, these are much better, more filling, tastier, and there are more interesting things inside the food packs." Soldiers added that they wished that portions were larger and that they seemed to lack savoury food. One person added, "Right now there are more pasta dishes, but there could be more potato-type meals, like mashed potatoes with minced meat sauce or something like that." One downside with these new ones, a conscript stated, is that there's no salt or sugar included. For example, if you make coffee, you can't make it any sweeter if you prefer it that way. The ERR piece notes that chocolate porridge seemed to be a new favourite, while chili con carne, pork meatballs with pasta or pasta carbonara were mentioned as popular savoury meals. Chocolate cake and cinnamon cake were mentioned to be popular snacks. Again, we really wish we could have provided you a glimpse of these newest meals, but, well, perhaps that'll be for another video. But that's the story of Estonia's failed 2023 ration rollout along with reactions to their replacements. If this is the kind of thing you're interested in, be sure to check out our video on Latvia's future field rations, made lighter and longer lasting through freeze drying. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
This one.
No, I mean, chocolate is always good.
It's always good.
So what would you say is better, your mum's or...
My mom's, yeah.
You say that just because you're on camera?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.